talk to me, yeah. But take your time. Don't know what you're trying to say, yeah. But it feels so right. I can taste the words of your lips, but I can't hear you. No. If all we got is body language, it's gonna be a long combo. So talk to me. I am your girl, Talisa Rae, and this, all up through here, is Truthful Thursday, where I promise to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. I really, really do. So listen, if it's your first time watching Truthful Thursdays, because you watch my reviews, my claws, my insecure, my snowfall, and it's the first time you're here, stay through the whole video. I promise you'll like it. At least I think so. Most people who watch it seem to like it and glean something from it. And you can always hear, because we're family for real, have a conversation with me. Tell me things that you like, what you don't like, what you want to talk about, what you think is important as it relates into relationships, all relationships, friendships, etc. If it's your first time visiting my channel, stay a while, click the subscribe button, be a ray of sunshine, and click the notification bell since you're right there already. To all my ray of sunshines that watch Truthful Thursday, that rock with me for real, I'm so sorry. I apologize. It's been 2 fucking Thursdays since I last seen you. Some of y'all don't watch no reviews. Some of y'all come specifically for Truthful Thursday, and I do apologize that I have not been here for you with that. This is where my heart lies. Though I love reviews, I love Truthful Thursdays. Y'all, it's trash day. Excuse the noise. So, we're in the middle of a dating series, and we've already talked about how do I know if they're interested. We talked about meeting people on the internet and being safe. We talked about solidifying a plan and going out on a date. And so now that we're here on the date, we need to know what to talk about. Yeah, we need to know what to wear too, but I'm going to show you that next week. I didn't have time to film all the variety of outfits that I would recommend. But since we're on the date already, we really need to know what to talk about, because the one thing I hate for sure, the one thing I hate for sure is awkward silence, forced conversations, things that make you want to get up from the table and be like, bye, goodbye, so long, farewell, sayonara, arrivederci. Like you don't want to be any part of that anymore. Oh, let me go back and say we're having this conversation because we're in a place where we can get to know one another. We're not at a play. We're not at a theater. We are not watching a movie. We are not watching spoken word. We are somewhere where we can have a conversation. I'm not saying that those aren't great dates too. I'm saying that you need to add something that requires you to converse with one another. You see, I said converse because conversate ain't a fucking word, okay? Converse with one another. So we're on the date. We're there. You're uncomfortable a little. You're nervous. You look cute. You're smiling because that's important. You got to finish it up with a smile. Nobody wants to be looking at you all sour face like with your bitch resting face on. In addition, do not constantly pick up your fucking phone. That is so disrespectful. I don't want you to have your cell phone. I don't want you with your cell phone in your hand while you're on a date. Like, it's disrespectful, it's rude, and you shouldn't do it. Put it on silent, turn it upside down. Check it occasionally because you have children or whatever, but do not be on that phone. Ooh, that noise. I felt like I was shouting over the dump truck, okay? I'm sorry. I hope you can still hear me. But listen, nobody wants you to be on your phone because it feels like you're uninterested. And if you are uninterested, you shouldn't have been on a date. Put the phone down and give your immediate, direct, full attention to your date. That is the most appropriate thing you can do, men and women alike. And women, we have it bad because we want to take selfies and take pictures of our food and shit. Wait for the 4th and 5th date for all that so that you can include them in all those picture taking festivities. But for now, put your phone down because it feels like you're disconnected from them. Another thing I want you to remember, like I told you, awkward silence is horrible, but so is talking about yourself constantly. not letting the person get a word in edgewise, monopolizing the conversation. Unless it's somebody that is really an introvert and doesn't really talk much, and you can tell, and that's the vibe you've been getting from them, and or they've told you that, please don't monopolize the conversation with I, me, I, me, this time, that time, all the fucking time. Nobody wants to hear that. That's surely a way for someone never to want to talk to you again. On the flip side of that, ladies, do not shoot out a barrage of motherfucking questions. They are not in the interrogation room at the police station, okay? Do not shoot off ramble a whole bunch of fucking questions about their life. Don't ask them how many, you do want to know how many kids and shit they got, but you got to let that flow naturally. But don't be like, what's your favorite color? When's your birthday? What's your favorite food? When was the last time you was in a relationship? How many kids you got? What you do for a living? Don't fucking shoot off, pow, a million questions back to back to back. I mean, it is important that we know all of this stuff, but you don't want to turn them off from you with that either. I always feel like, because I feel like I am a connoisseur of communicating, like I feel like when people are around me, conversation, when I meet people for the first time, I'm very observant, okay? First and foremost, I'm very observant, but I have learned to have a balance between observing, kind of staring and being nosy, and actually having a conversation with someone. Trying to find that fine balance to make people comfortable with you and want to be able to open up and share. First and foremost, I'm non-judgmental. I am not uber righteous. So I already come off as someone who is understanding, and I make sure that it is communicated with the things that I say, that you can trust me and that we can have an open dialogue. Because like, I know, there are some women who are all like, well, you shouldn't have to ask his relationship status. Bullshit. We all want to know what your relationship status is. I don't give a fuck who you are. You can guess if you want to, but I don't plan on being Inspector Gadget, Blue's Clues, Dora the Explorer, Swipey no Swipey, trying to figure out if you're in a relationship or not. It's something that we want to know, and it's something that we need to ask. And you don't have to ask like, I might ask like,
so are you married? Do you have a girlfriend? A stalker? Does someone think that they're in a relationship with you? Do you have someone that you are fucking currently?
Like, you don't have to do that, because I do that, but by the time I do that, we're drunk, we're laughing, and they realize that I'm sarcastic, but I'm serious, because those are questions that I ask. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I was at this thing and they were like, oh, you shouldn't have to ask all them questions. Well, don't ask them if you want to, but that's the way I operate. I ask eventually those questions. They find it funny, and then they get to say stuff like, oh, well, there is this girl I'm seeing, or yes, I'm dating, I'm dating, and you can respect that more so than not. But back to the thing at hand. I also don't recommend you talk about politics or religion in these first 2-3 dates. Now, you do want to find out if you're equally yoked sooner than later before you're in love, but not on these first 2, 3, 4 dates. I say that you could probably have it in casual conversation, but you do need to know, because religion and politics always stir up strife. You know what I'm saying? Always stir up conflict, especially if you have opposing views. So I recommend that you wait, but don't wait too long, because if you're a Christian and he's a Muslim and you feel like you're unequally yoked because he don't believe Jesus is Lord, and like, I know Jesus died for my sins on the cross, like, my slate is clean, he is my entry into heaven. Like, I'm just listen, I'm being honest. Those are things that have gone through my mind. Particularly, I dated someone that was a Muslim and I was a Christian, and we seemed to work okay, until honesty, whatever. I digress. So you want to just make sure that the conversation is easygoing, flowing. It should happen naturally. You know what I mean? It's awkward. You do start off with things like, how was your day? And you can, and normally, how was your day goes into, oh, my day was good, or, oh, really, it was a long day. I'm so glad that I was here. Me. I'm so glad that I came and that we having this drink because I needed to relax. And their next question is usually, well, what's wrong? What happened? And then you get to start talking about what you do. You get to say, I work for X, Y, and Z as a blase, and they've got me working on these reports, and baby, they is getting on my nerves. Like, But don't make it all about you. Kind of stop and be like, "Whoo, you know what? I'm just talking about me. What about you? How was your day?" Start the dialogue so that it becomes easy going, where it's back and forth, you know. And sometimes it's better to listen and be quiet than to say anything, because I guarantee you, if you listen long enough, you'll get all the information that you would want to know. Family, is there anything that you would recommend for our family? Put it down in the comments below. What would you suggest that they talk about during their dates? Would you say they should talk about the latest TV shows? Like, do they watch Power? Because normally, if you both watch Power, that's an instant strike up conversation, because you get to talking about fucking Angela and Tasha and motherfucking dumbass Ghost who cheated on his wife with this bitch and Tommy going loco. I mean, or do you want to talk ratchet TV? Do you watch Basketball Wives? Do you watch Love and Hip Hop Hollywood? Like, are you watching Snowfall or Claws? Like, that kind of stuff. Or are you into sports? And you know, some women more than men think love sports. So there is a lot of common ground you can find to help spark conversation. So like I said, if you have something that you want to share that you think is good for first, second, third date conversation as you get to know one another, because all those pertinent questions are important. All the, where do you live? Do you still talk to your mom? How many children do you have? Where do you work? All of those conversations or questions are important in a conversation. I just don't want you to throw them all at them like fireworks. Figure out how to weave them in naturally to your conversation as an exchange of information. Like, oh, my son is in college. Oh, well, how many kids do you have? I have 2 children. See, it weaved into the conversation. Make it easy flowing, comfortable, not awkward, not silent. I am your girl, Talisa Rae. Thank you so much for watching this edition of Truthful Thursday. Again, if you have any comments or suggestions for our families, any comments or suggestions for our family, leave them in the comments below. As well as like the video and share it with a friend. If you haven't already, go ahead, become a ray of sunshine by clicking the subscribe button. Hugs and kisses and lots and lots and lots of love. I'll see you on the next video.